Good morning, children. Our today's topic is electron transport system and oxidative phosphorylation. This topic we have already discussed in the previous video also, but now today I am discussing it through your NCERT book. Okay. So first of all, here you are to see that this NADH2 and FADH2 which are formed in the Krebs cycle, so they get oxidized in the electron transport system. So I am going to show you where this NADH2 and FADH2 are formed. You can see here and here. NADH2 are formed in the Krebs cycle at 4 places and FADH2 is formed here. So these FADH2 and NADH2 will get oxidized in the electron transport system. Once they will get oxidized, then electron which is formed will pass on through the electron transport system, and this electron transport system is actually located on the inner mitochondrial membrane. This is inner mitochondrial membrane. So this is shown the inner mitochondrial membrane over which the electron carriers are present. I have shown you these electron carriers in the another book in the previous video, because this description is not matching with this diagram. So that this description is to be matched with this diagram, then only the topic will be clear. I am showing you in both the book, and I am taking NCERT as well as other book also to make the topic clear. So this electron transport system is present on inner mitochondrial membrane. Here they have written electrons from NADH, मतलब कि NADH से electron release होगा. But here this sentence is little confusing. Produced in mitochondrial membrane. This produced means this NADH2 is produced in mitochondrial matrix. It is not for the electron, but it is produced is for the NADH. That NADH which is produced in mitochondrial matrix in the Krebs cycle will oxidize to produce the electron. Okay, here they have maintained citric acid cycle is Krebs cycle only. So this NADH is produced in citric acid cycle will get oxidized. For the oxidation of NADH, the enzyme which is required is NADH dehydrogenase, and it is called as complex 1. So here you can see this NADH2 is getting oxidized into NAD, and enzyme which is required is NADH dehydrogenase, which is complex 1. Here also you can see that this NADH2 AH2 is written for NADH2 because it can be NADH2 and this is NAD, and it is getting oxidized also they have written, but name of the enzyme we are to mention that it is NADH dehydrogenase complex 1. Now the electron which is being produced by the oxidation of NADH2 is passed on or transferred to ubiquinone. But in this diagram ubiquinone is not mentioned, so that I am showing you ubiquinone is actually coenzyme Q only. This I have shown you in previous video that this coenzyme Q is only ubiquinone. So this description of the NCERT is to be matched with this diagram only. When we will match it with the other book, then only the topic will be clear. So this electron will pass on to the ubiquinone. Ubiquinone I am showing you here that ubiquinone is this coenzyme Q only. From the ubiquinone, this electron, this ubiquinone is actually also because root 1. If root 1 is there, then NADH2 will get oxidized, but in root 2 FADH2 will get oxidized. Here it is been shown that FADH2, if it is a substrate, then it will oxidize. This is root 2 and this is root 1 from when NADH2 will oxidize, but both FADH2 and NADH2 will pass on their electron to ubiquinone only coenzyme Q. Okay, so this is what it is written. Ubiquinone also receives the reducing equivalent from FADH2. It means FADH2 will also pass on its electron to ubiquinone. So this FADH2 complex is called as complex 2, which you can see here. This FADH2 complex is called as complex 2. Now we are coming to here that the electron from this complex 2 which has passed to ubiquinone now will pass on from the ubiquinone, transfer this electron to cytochrome C via cytochrome BC1 complex. This cytochrome BC1 complex is called as complex 3. Now see to here. From this ubiquinone, the electron is passing to cytochrome C. Here it is cytochrome C, this one. Okay, via BC1 complex मतलब कि cytochrome C इधर है, यूबिक्विनॉन इधर है, इन दोनों के बीच में ये BC1 complex है. तो from the ubiquinone to cytochrome C via BC1 complex, this BC1 complex is called as complex 3. तो कॉम्प्लेक्स 3 के थ्रू वो साइटोक्रोम सी के पास आ गया है. फ्रॉम द साइटोक्रोम सी दिस इलेक्ट्रॉन विल पास ऑन via to the complex 4 refers to cytochrome oxidase complex containing cytochrome A and A3. So from the BC1 it has reached to cytochrome A and A3. In between cytochrome C was there. So cytochrome C is called as mobile carrier. I am showing you it in diagram. From BC1 complex it was complex 3. It has reached to A and A3 cytochrome complex. It is complex 4 and in between this cytochrome C is there. So cytochrome C is called as mobile carrier. I am explaining all the 4 complex here. Here the complex 1, here complex 2, BC1 is complex 3, A and A3 is complex 4 and cytochrome C is a complex. This is the mobile carrier. Up to here we have completed. Now come to here. Where do the complex 5 is there? Complex 5 is this only कि when the synthesis of ATP takes place, then this is F0 F1 particle which are attached to inner mitochondrial membrane only. So synthesis of ATP takes place with the help of enzyme ATPase and this ATPase is called as complex 5 which is written here. It's in which helps in the synthesis of ATP. Now here they have explained route 1 and route 2. Route name is not written in this book but I have shown you in the previous video the route 1 and route 2 in this video. So now come to here. If the route 1 means the NADH is a oxidizing substrate, then the 3 molecule of ATP will form, and if FADH2 is a oxidizing substrate, then 2 ATP molecule will form. Again I am showing you this in this book only. You can see if NADH2 is there, so ATP1, ATP2 and ATP3, 3 ATPs are formed. But if FADH2, because FADH2 is directly entering from here only, its electron is directly passed on to ubiquinone. So this step will not be there when FADH2 is oxidizing. So that only 2 ATP molecule will form when FADH2 will get oxidized. Okay. So this is one thing. Now where do the use of oxygen is there? As in the previous video I have told you that oxygen is used in the last. The ultimate electron carrier is oxygen only, or ultimate hydrogen acceptor is oxygen. In this diagram you can see. Similarly here also all these are electron carriers. However this description is not fitting to this diagram, hence I am again and again showing you this diagram. So here you can see the oxygen is the ultimate hydrogen carrier and electron acceptor. So that way water molecule is formed in the end. So oxygen is limited to the terminal stage of the process, and presence of oxygen is vital since it drives the whole process, removing hydrogen from the system. From where do the hydrogen is formed? Because this is the hydrogen. Once the H2H hydrogen has broken down, then it has formed 1 electron and 1 proton. 2 hydrogen will broken down, 2 proton, 2 electrons, 2 electrons, 2 proton. So these protons were released in the matrix and now they are ultimately received by the oxygen. So these are the electron hydrogen which I was showing you. So that is also received by the oxygen. Now they are comparing it with the photosynthesis, that in the photosynthesis also cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation takes place, but their solar energy is converted into chemical energy. So there the source of energy is light energy, but in this, as it is called as oxidative phosphorylation. So why do it is called as oxidative phosphorylation? Because here energy is released from oxidation and reduction. Now the point is that how do the synthesis of ATP takes place. In photosynthesis also you have seen the synthesis of ATP by chemiosmotic hypothesis. Similarly here also, this is inner mitochondrial membrane. This is you can imagine that this is outer mitochondrial membrane, and this is intermembrane space, and these are F0 F1 particles. This is F0 F1. F0 part is, it is integral protein, and this is peripheral protein. Here ATPase enzyme is present. So proton gradient is formed in the intermitochondrial membrane and in the matrix. The hydrogen ion concentration is more in between these two membranes, that means intermembrane space, and the matrix when in comparison to matrix, when these ions will pass through this F0 F1 particle, so it will here compile with the ATP synthetase which is present in this F1 particle. So by the union of ADP and inorganic phosphate, the synthesis of ATP takes place. So that way this is again the process of breaking the proton gradient, and the synthesis of ATP will there. So in this diagram you can see that at three places the ATP is formed. So all the three places the proton gradient will break down to synthesize the ATP, and this process is actually going on in the inner mitochondrial membrane. So that way this is all about the electron transport system. Up to here, how do the synthesis of ATP takes place. So the complete process of respiration is completed. Water is formed here. Energy is formed here at three places. From one molecule of NADH2, 3 molecules of ATP are formed. So 10 NADH2 molecules were produced, 8 in Krebs cycle, 2 in glycolysis. So 10 NADH2 molecule will produce 30 ATP, and 2 FADH2 were formed in Krebs cycle, so it will produce 4 ATP. So 30 plus 4, 34 ATP are formed. 2 GTP are formed here. They will also be considered as ATP. So 34 plus 2, 36 ATP, and 2 ATP were formed in glycolysis. So 38 ATP molecule are formed in the complete process of respiration, but 2 ATP are used in this process. So net gain of ATP is 36 ATP are produced from the oxidation of one molecule of glucose. Thank you.